Hey guys, I got a little something different for you today in this video. So most of you know I have been playing these solo gigs, been playing out throughout 2021. I've already got a hefty schedule for January 2022, but I figured why don't I come on here and just share a few of the songs that I'm playing and singing. So I thought I'd just share a little bit of the most recent gig that I had on Christmas Eve at the Forge Irish Pub in Brandon, Florida. Very cool place, by the way. So I'm going to share about 12 minutes worth of music. Now, hang around until the end of the video. I'm going to share with you some additional thoughts on these gigs and some of the new gear that I'm using for them as well. Just hoping that YouTube doesn't smack me around for this. I mean, these are cover songs, so I'm sure they'll demonetize the video, which I'm perfectly fine with that. That's okay, but hopefully they'll keep this video up because I want you guys to be able to enjoy it.
Now the times are changing. Look at everything that's coming on. Sometimes I still play that old 6-string. Think about you, wondering what went wrong. Standing on your mama's porch, you told me that it lasts forever. Oh, and when you held my hand, I knew that it was now or never. Those were the best days of my life. Oh yeah, back in the summer of '69. It was the summer of '69. Living is something I can't get. Broken hearts lie all around, and I don't see an easy way to get out of this. The diary sits by the bedside table, dreams are closed, the cat's in the cradle. Who would have thought that a boy like me could come to this? No, I just died in your arms tonight. Must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. No, I just died in your arms tonight. Must have been some kind of kiss. Should have walked away. Should have walked away. And I'm gonna hold on for the rest of my days, 'cause I know what it means to walk along your main street of dreams. Here I go again on my own, going down the only road I know. I could drift if I was born to walk alone. I made up my mind. I ain't wasting no more time. First slow dance, hoping that I get it right. Back then I thought I'd never have to stand alone. It used to feel that a lonely heart was never shown. I know things will never be the same now. I wanna go back and while you're soft and frail and weeping, was a man these fairy tales. And all your trouble on your tail, to steady hand to climb. Oh, I know a place where we can go, wash away the sins. Sit and watch the clouds roll by, don't rest with the rain. You can lay it back on the ground, let your hair fall all around, offer up your best defense. This is the end. This is the end of the innocent. Hurry, boy, she's waiting over you. It's gonna take a lot to take it away from you. But there's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I bless the rains down in Africa. I bless the rains down in Africa. I bless the rains down in Africa. We're gonna take some time to do the things we never had. And then we search for wealth untold, the dig for silver and for gold, and leave the empty holes. Way down south in the Everglades, blackwater walls and sawgrass waves, the eagles fly and the otters play, the land of the Seminole. Now blow, blow, Seminole wind, blow like you're never gonna blow again. I'm calling to you like a long lost friend, but I know who you are. I'm blow, blow from the Okeechobee, all the way up to Michigan, blow across the home of the Seminole, alligator and Benatar. You're begging me to go, and making me stay. Why do you hurt me so bad? It wouldn't help for me to know I stand in your way. Or am I the best thing you can? Believe me, I can't tell you why. But I'm trapped right now, reaching to your side. Love is a battlefield. Yeah, we are strong. No one can tell us we're wrong. Searching our hearts for someone. Both of us knowing love is a battlefield. Every gambler knows the secret to surviving, knowing what to throw away and knowing what to keep. 'Cause every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser, and the best that you can go for is to die in your sleep. When they finish speaking, they turn back towards the window, crushed out a cigarette, faded off to sleep. Somewhere in the dark, the gambler, he broke even, but in his final words I found a nest that I could keep. 'Cause you got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough to count it when the dealing's done. You got yesterday and days before. Sun is gold and rain is hot. I know it's been that way for all my time. Till forever on it goes, through the circle fast and short. I know it can't stop all one night. I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Coming down on a sunny day.
So first of all, I'd like to give a big shout out to the folks at the Forge Irish Pub in Brandon, Florida. Absolutely love this place. It is such a cool place. I wish I had taken more video of the actual restaurant and bar itself, which I'll do that next time and I'll put that on a future video. I've actually got 2 more gigs scheduled here in January, so that's coming up and I'll get some more footage for you guys. But just a really cool place to play. It's one of my favorite stages here. Now I want to share with you some of the new gear that I'm using. If you remember, I put a YouTube Shorts out there at this gig. I don't know if you guys remember that. I'll try to link to that up here if you guys want to go check that out. But I go over all the gear that I'm using just really briefly. I think those videos can only be like a minute long. But 2 items I want to share with you. One is my acoustic sound, because that's probably what you're going to ask. Like, hey Jason, how are you getting that sound? Because it sounds pretty cool. You know, one of the rules of playing live acoustic is not necessarily getting a great acoustic tone, but not having a real bad one. So that's one of, like, you know, the unwritten rules of playing acoustic. I'm actually using the Line 6 Pod Go, which you guys have seen several videos on that. I'll give you some deeper insight into my acoustic tone in another video. And this is the unit that I'm using for all of my live solo gigs because I can use it for acoustic and electric. All I have to do is just unplug the wireless. I've got the Boss WL20 wireless. Just unplug that from one guitar and plug it into the other, and then just change the patch if I'm switching back and forth from acoustic to electric, and I'm good to go. One unit does the trick for everything. The other thing I want to share with you real quick is what I'm using for vocals. Now, for the longest time, I was just using the effects on the board itself, which I've got the Mackie, I think it's called the Pro FX V10 or something like that. And it's got really good onboard effects, but the problem is if you want to talk in between songs, well, you're talking with those effects. So you really can't add a whole lot of effects because, you know, it just sounds weird when you start talking to the audience, which I do in between every few songs. I like to engage with the audience, as you would guess. This is the Mic Mechanics pedal by TC Helicon, and the 2 main reasons I got this pedal, number one, when we just talked about it, I wanted to be able to turn off the effects quickly in between songs when I wanted to engage with the audience, which is something that you want to do. You don't want to overdo that now, but you do want to engage and talk to them from time to time. And maybe I'll do another video on that, on stage performance, if that's something that you guys are interested in. If so, please leave a comment, because I told you I wanted to start putting some more live gigging style videos out there and just sharing this experience with you, because again, it's become such a huge part of my music life now. The second reason is the simplicity of this pedal. I've said this on countless videos. I'm like Leonard Skinner. I'm a simple man. I don't need a lot of bells and whistles. I was actually looking at the unit. Actually, I bought the TC Helicon Voice Live, but it's just way too complex for me. There's just way too many options. It's like, no, I don't want to have to be clicking on my Pod Go for guitars and then have to turn around and also worry about clicking different things with the vocal pedal. I just want something that's simple, that's got a little bit of reverb and delay, and that I can use to just enhance my voice a little bit. Now, this pedal has 3 controls. It's got the reverb and delay, which those were the main features, really only features that I wanted. There's also a feature that I do not and absolutely refuse to ever use, and that's the pitch correction. Here's the thing. I'm not going to say I'm the perfect singer. I mean, you guys just heard what I did. I don't have the absolute most amazing voice in the world, and I may have been a little pitchy in certain parts. When you're playing live, especially for 3 and 4 hours at a time, you're not going to be perfect every time. However, I think this is part of what gives your performance more life. Now, you don't want to be completely off key. If that were the case, I would not be up here doing this live. I would go take voice lessons or just keep practicing until I felt confident enough to where I get up there and do that. But I just refuse to use any kind of pitch correction. I'm kind of like one of those anti-auto-tune people, and I just think that stuff like that's way overused. I don't see any purpose for it. All the great singers from the past, they didn't use it, didn't need it, and I actually think this is one of the reasons why the older generations of music, they're still listened to much more than anything over the past, I'd say, a couple of decades, and I attribute auto-tune to being part of that. We just want to perfectly sync everything, and everything just sounds like a giant robot. So I just refuse to use it. I don't want to use the pitch correction, so that level is always off. And I don't use it on my wife's. My wife, she has the same pedal. Don't use it on her either. I just give her a little bit of echo, a little bit of reverb, and that's it. Because again, I think that takes away from the organic performance and the liveliness. I don't know, just my opinion, and I'm just kind of throwing it out there to you. Now, another new thing I just added to my live setup, and I didn't plan on going this depth into the setup, but man, the gear for live gigging is just so much fun to talk about. I've got this new floor monitor. I didn't have a floor monitor before that. We're just relying on the 2 mains, and at smaller gigs, even this gig we've done this, I would just use one main and then the other main speaker as a floor monitor. Well, I wanted to get a proper floor monitor, so I got this Electro Voice. It's a 1,000-watt speaker. I don't remember the exact name. I'll put it down there in the text down there for you. But I just picked this monitor up, and my wife and I both just love it, absolutely love it. It's just got such just a crystal clear sound coming out. So we're really happy about that. We can properly hear ourselves on stage now. But that's kind of what I wanted to share with you guys. And again, this place is awesome. It's called the Forge Irish Pub. If you're local, if you happen to be watching this and you're in my area in Brandon, Florida, I'm technically in Seffner. If you're in Brandon or the Tampa area, I'm actually going to be playing 2 more times in January at the Forge Irish Pub. I believe it's Friday night, January 7th, and then again on Friday, January 21st. From 7 to 10. And of course, I've got several other gigs lined up. Make sure you're following me on Facebook, Jason Stallworth Music. If you type that in, you'll see my Facebook page. There's a link in the description of this video as well, all the way down to the bottom of the description. There's a link to my social media. So make sure you're following me on those, because I'm always posting my schedule, my live schedule on those. That is constantly changing, by the way, because man, I mean, I've just been blessed with a lot of gigs. I didn't really anticipate on playing out that much. I was like, okay, well, I just wanted to get out there. I didn't really want to do cover songs. I just wanted to get out there and perform and be on stage, so I didn't lose that. But I just keep getting called back, so I guess I'm doing something right. Either that or these folks are just desperate to get somebody to play. I hope it's the former. But anyway, so I'm just really thankful and really grateful that I'm playing out, because it's become so much fun. And again, you know, you see my wife, she's singing. She'll come up and sing 2 or 3 songs at the end of each set. Usually I do like 3 sets, you know, for the 3-hour gigs. I take little breaks in between. But she has so much fun, and it's something that, you know, now she's a part of, and that's just something that's important to me as well, and to her as well. She has such a great time up there. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the songs that I played here. I try to do songs that every other acoustic act is not doing. There are certain songs I just will not do. I won't do it. I refuse to do them because I don't like them. So, and it's like you've got like, I don't know, a gazillion other solo acts and bands that will be playing those songs anyway. So I really stick to stay in my lane type of thing. I stick to just a very specific genre. Some people will say, well, you're boxing yourself in. In this case, I want to be in that little box. I want to stick to my kind of late 70s and all throughout the 80s, and, you know, stick to the rock and the pop songs of those eras, or that giant era. They kind of run together. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments here. And of course, let me know if you want more content like this. You know, I've already got a couple videos out there on how I use the Pod Go from Line 6. I'll be putting more out there as well. We'll be doing something for acoustic for that. And, you know, if you guys want to know more about the singing aspect of doing this, you'll notice I play some of the songs not like it's actually played. I kind of have my own version of it. I transpose it into a different key that's suitable for my vocals. Another thing about playing any gig for 3 and 4 hours, that's kind of the typical, the average time is 3 hours. Some gigs are more than that. I'm playing New Year's Eve. That's going to be a 4-hour and 45-minute gig, so that's a big one. You don't want to push your voice in those during those long gigs like that, because, well, you just don't want to do that. So I make sure I have, you know, a comfortable range that I'm in, so I'll transpose the songs. That's something I can talk about as well. And thank you guys for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Again, I really hope YouTube leaves it alone. They can demonetize it, that's fine. I'm okay with not getting any ad revenue from this video. Let that go to the artists. Well, it's probably going to go to the labels. I doubt any of it goes to the actual artist. But I'm okay with that. I just hope they don't, you know, like strike me down or anything like that. So we'll see. If they don't, maybe I can put some more cover songs out here as well. If not, though, if they don't like this video and it gets taken down for whatever reason, then I'll still put up some live performance, but it'll just be me playing either my solo instrumental stuff. I'll do that with the looper sometimes, or it'll be songs that I write. So, you know, those are my songs. All right, guys, thank you once again. Make sure you give this a thumbs up. Please subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, well, I usually say keep it metal, but today we're keeping it acoustic.